Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy ssjk-dots, the first black Super Saiyan to arrive on this planet, and I'm back here with another video that's going to be a quick video. Jason David Frank, a legendary actor tied to the Power Rangers series, has passed away today, passed away at the age of 49. The cause of it is due to suicide. Today this is going to be hitting a little bit close because, as you guys know, when I said this before, lost my brother due to suicide. And all this, today is hitting a little bit too close. Last couple weeks ago, we lost Takeoff. We lost Kevin Conroy earlier this week. Like all this stuff back to back, man. This shit is wild. It's just wild. But we're gonna read this article real quick and try to get whatever information we can on this matter. This is straight from TMZ. We're gonna just see what happened. And earlier, I was kind of suspicious about this news because I first heard about this on Twitter. And mind you, when it comes to people passing away, I don't trust Twitter. I remember when they said I remember when a bunch of people said DMX passed away the day before he even passed away, and he wasn't even he didn't even die yet. And people saying the day before DMX passed, no, he didn't. Yeah, he died the day after, but he didn't die the day everybody was saying he passed away. Also this week, people was pushing around a hashtag RIP Jimmy Fallon, and it was trending on Twitter. I'm like, is Jimmy Fallon dead? Come to find out, he wasn't even dead. It was just a joke. So I don't be taking Twitter serious when it comes to dead people because people be fucking around too much on that app when it comes to the dead. So let's go ahead and get into this article and see what's up with this situation. Power Rangers Jason David Frank dead by suicide at 49. Jason David Frank, one of the original Power Rangers, one of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. He was the Green Ranger, and then he became the White Ranger on the same season of Power Rangers. Has died, TMZ has learned. Jason died in Texas, according to his rep Justin Hunt. Sources with direct knowledge tell us his death was the result of suicide. Jason David Frank is best known as Tommy Oliver from the original run of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers franchise, dating back to the Kids series debut in 1993. When he was introduced as one of the 6 crime monster fighting superheroes, masked head to toe with kung fu skills. Fans will remember he started out as the Green Ranger in Season 1, introduced at first as the enemy of the Power Rangers, only to do a 180 and become good. After his powers start to deteriorate, however, he turns into the White Ranger and tapped as the new leader of the group. Frank starred as one of the leads for 3 seasons, totaling 123 episodes. Yeah, Jason David Frank, shouts out to this man because, a lot of people growing up called Power Rangers corny, all this shit. This man, as he got older, he did not deviate from this franchise. He made sure he returned in different seasons, showing up to different cons and stuff for Power Rangers related things. Even Bad in the Sun, he did a little, did some little spin-off things. It wasn't tied to the real Power Rangers, but you had the thing, one called the White Ranger versus Ryu. He still had a love for this franchise. Most people who was part of this franchise probably deviated from it, really didn't care, there's nothing against him, but he stuck around with this franchise and, tried to stay to have a lot of input on how it does moving forward. So I give him props for that. He, no matter what people said about Power Rangers, he ain't never shied away from Power Rangers. Shouts out Jason. Frank went on to reprise his role as Tommy in several adaptations of Power Rangers, including Wild Force, Turbo, Zeo, Dino Thunder, Mega Force, Ninja Steel, Hyper Force, and more. He was in Hyper Force? Oh. He's been a Red Ranger, a Black Ranger, and a Green Ranger anew. Jason David Frank is a fan favorite Power Ranger, which is why he's returned to the franchise time and again. His on-screen fighting abilities translate into the real world. Frank was a professionally trained MMA brawler who was well versed in everything from Taekwondo, Muay Thai, Judo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and others. He fought professionally for a time from 2008 to 2010. He survived by his 4 children. I actually follow his daughter on Instagram. I hope, you know, I know that this news is going to hurt her the most. You know, that this is his daughter, and when you know someone you love that passes away due to suicide, it's I don't need, I don't know how to look. I can't explain it unless you've been through it. You'll know what we would feel, but I can't really explain the feeling you would get and all that. You have to go through it. I don't want nobody to go through that shit, but the only way you'll know how somebody feels is if you was really in the similar situation. I cannot explain that. I'm not going to try and break it down and explain it because I don't want to think about it right now, but you know, I just hope the best for her and the family. That's all I hope for. Jason's rep Justine tells TMZ, please respect the privacy of his family and friends during this horrible time as we come to terms with the loss of such a wonderful human being. He loved his family, friends, and fans very much. He'll truly be missed. Frank was 49. Rest in peace. If you or someone you know is thinking of suicide, please call the National Suicide Prevention Line at 988. Finding out someone you love was gone due to suicide is definitely not one of the things you want to hear. You don't want to hear none of your loved ones losing their life in any type of way, but when it's suicide, that's a different type of thing, because the thing about it is a lot of those people don't really let you know how they're feeling. You know, there's no way for you to really know if they're feeling down or up because, you know, they are hiding certain things, and you know, you don't realize it because they don't make it known to you or talk to you. I don't know what internal struggles he was having or dealing with, but you know, it sucks he had to deal with them alone and was probably shielding them from a lot of people, because maybe there was a way he could have got some help to prevent this situation, but you know, he was dealing with this situation and keeping it to himself. You know, and this is how it usually happens. Nobody really knows what's going on, and sometimes another thing, he probably did tell some people and they didn't care to listen. Who knows? You know, that's how it usually happens with this type of situation. Either you tell people, they don't care, and they don't know how to talk to you about the situation. Tell you something super generic and cliche. Go seek religion or something. Like, nah, it's way more than just that. Like, it's so much more to it. It's so much more to it. So much more. It's not just people tell you either this simple little fix that isn't really a fix. You know, there's so much more you have to do when someone is in this state and on this verge of suicide. There's so much more legwork you gotta do than just doing the simple stuff, you know? But I'm going to miss Jason. You know, him showing up, like seeing him come back constantly throughout all these seasons to really rep for this franchise and keep coming back. You know, especially where he was at. You know, he could have easily moved on from Power Rangers and just did something else, but he just had a love for it and decided to stick around because he knew how much we all loved it and everybody who grew up with it. You know, Mighty Morphin wasn't my favorite season. Like, my favorite season, it was one of my favorites, but it's not like my all-time favorite. But in my all-time favorite season, he's still in it, and that's Dino Thunder, which having him come back to teach these Dino Rangers and be their mentor was honestly amazing. And then you have that episode where he has to challenge all his past selves and pass this test so he can come back to the world of the living after he deals with his past and everything. And then he becomes a Black Ranger, which is so freaking epic. But you guys, Jason David Frank, great man. And I'm just going off of what I see from interviews on screen and out, you know, just interviews and stuff. I didn't know him personally, but to me, great man. And I respect what he did for Power Rangers as a franchise and his influence on the franchise. And the fact is that he's one of our childhood heroes at the end of the day. I mean, shit, he's one of mine. Shit, he's a motherfucking Green Ranger. Not the bad Green Ranger, but the good one. He's the White Ranger, the Red Zeo Ranger, and the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. He's so much.
What's the other?
They go real well with Dino Morphers.
Shouts out Jason, bro. Rest in peace, and I hope I hope nothing but good things for the family moving forward after this. You know, this is going to be a lot of hurt right now, but they're going to get through it. It's at this point, you know, the family got to come together and just stick together. Stick together at this point. You all need to come together as a family for Jason. Do it for him. But thank y'all for watching. Goes for that peace, love, positivity, and all that jazz. Don't do drugs, like I always say. Doses.
What did you do? What did you do?